got to come up with different things to throw at him. And that's what Johnny did. But Dave, for the 80s, he pushed that envelope. And then Conan in the 90s, he pushed it further. But I feel like Dave was cooler at it.
This guy named Mantar, who I don't know, Steve. I never heard of this. The guy who played Mantar almost looks like he's related in some way to Kevin Sullivan, like the Sullivan Crew. He's gross looking. He's got the weird face paint. I don't think you could take the subway to the Irish Electronics Factory. Yeah, you know, those people that are so great at electronics, the Irish. Look at this new microchip I made.
Happened in the 90s.
Today is the perfect opportunity for me to give flowers to a person that I hold in a high regard ever since I was a kid. And that man is none other than David Letterman. I really feel, to me, I know a lot of people in our generation say Conan's the GOAT, but man, I know David Letterman, he didn't invent late night television, but man, he innovated it. He pushed the envelope.
I bet even Conan O'Brien would say that, like, he's the GOAT. So, and I know, I mean, obviously he took over for David Letterman. I think for me, it was just like coming up with Conan O'Brien and seeing, like, you got the whole thing, and we kind of came in late on David Letterman, but to me, he was just like the coolest one, because there was all these stories of him just like, he doesn't give a shit, he'll do whatever he wants already. And plus, the thing that I loved about him is his freaks that he would have on, and like weird interviews he would do with like Crispin Glover. Who was the other guy? I think it was a guy who made Gummo.
Well, yeah, him, Harmony Korine, and there was a guy from Cleveland. He was friends with Crumb, Robert Crumb, the illustrator. Yeah. It wasn't Robert Crumb, but his cohort, one of his peers. I can't call his name though, but he was a regular guest, and you know, he was like your curmudgeon Clevelander, and that's what made for good TV, because Dave's being Dave, and he's just like, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about.
He had the best interview style. Like, I feel like all of us, like our age, we just ended up hating Jay Leno at some point anyway, because he was just, you know, what he did to Conan. David Letterman, still to this day, I think like it's never going to get as good as that. Conan just he had his own like special sauce where he made it weird and it worked. But I agree with you, dude. Like, if anybody's the GOAT of it, it's him or Johnny.
And that's what I was going to say. Johnny, he was kind of the first to come up with all of these different skits and bits. And all of these guys are a huge inspiration to this show. Like Johnny Carson, remember, like at the very beginning, I was like, man, we got to come up with different things to throw at him. And that's what Johnny did. But Dave, for the 80s, he pushed that envelope. And then Conan in the 90s, he pushed it further. But I feel like Dave was cooler at it than Johnny. And Johnny, I'm a fan of Johnny, man. But with Dave, he was daring for his time in the 80s, man. He bucked the system, if you will, especially in his later days. And I feel like that inspired Conan to kind of do the same thing in his later days with NBC. I used to do this thing on Over the Culture where I would take somebody from one realm and compare them to another. So in my very first episode, I compared Michael Jordan to Hulk Hogan, because it's the same trajectory. And I feel like David Letterman is that for this, because all of these guys started in the 80s, the early 80s, and they found something to be relevant in the 90s, just like Jordan coming back, just like Hogan turning to NWO, just like Dave going to CBS. And David Letterman is so cool. I intentionally turned to CBS only for this show.
It was probably like 99 and stuff where you had that option. It was just like, I don't know why I hated Jay Leno. I can't even put my finger on it, Steve, but maybe it's because he was cheesy.
He was the machine.
Yeah. But yeah, this was kind of like that little hidden gem, if you will. Like, I didn't hear a lot of people talking about like, oh man, did you see what was on Dave Letterman last night? But some of your cool friends would do that. And I didn't do it all the time, but if I had a choice, definitely would have been Dave in those top 10s. Like all those recurring bits he had, dude. And I mean, he was the one that had Stuttering John on. Or was that Leno?
That was Leno. He stole him from Howard. But
I was going to say. And also, you said about him being relevant and staying relevant. This guy's not been on TV for however long it's been. They bring him back and they have other shows and interview shows because people want to see him do what he was doing on his show. Even if he has a gigantic beard and looks like some weird, like, Unabomber type character at this point, you know?
He's reached bonus round where you can do whatever, just like Rick Rubin. Like, man, you look like you just came out of Skid Row, but hey, man, you're a legend.
I'm the Tim.
Duncan. And he ain't frontin', tries to rock and he'll show you something.
The Kobe.
Bryant. Slam dunk giant. Outplayed the Kobe, son, don't try it.
It's Kobe and Tim, both games are tight. Grabbing points like they grab a Sprite. Game action like movie stunts. Obeying the curse with Missy scoring points. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
Happened in the 90s was streamed before a live studio audience. This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your tapes of Queen Latifah and your posters of Aaliyah, because it's time to come up and hold my own weight, defend my crown. God still lock it down, and when they rush, stand my ground. Time to come up, stick up my chest and make some loot. God still lock it down, and when they rush, stand on my own too. Doom, 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 doom. Don't. Still rock.
Holla.
Well, today, my friend, we're talking all things June 25th in the 90s. But I wipe my own ass. Starting off in 1991, the final episode of Head of the Class airs on ABC. 5 seasons, 114 episodes, Matt.
How many feet pics, Steve, did Dennis Blunden have in his locker?
Yeah, introduced us to Dan Schneider.
This was something I was trying to think of because I wasn't a huge avid watcher of Head of the Class. I feel like I watched it in syndication on USA more than anything. Was Billy Connolly the teacher at some point on the show?
He took over in the, I want to say, 4th and 5th season, and they ended up having a spinoff from that character called Billy that lasted 1 season.
So weird. It's just odd, you know. He's very prolific, and then it was just on Head of the Class. But yeah, I think Dennis Blunden, aka Dan Schneider. I feel like unfortunately that's the stink that we get left over from this show.
It was actually good, man. 114 episodes. It also introduced us to Robin Givens, and it's because of this show where Mike discovered her. He's watching the episode of Head of the Class, and he's like, I got to have that.
Who is that very voluptuous woman next to that big fat person? Oh. I wish I was Head of the Class. That's weird. I didn't know she was on this show.
Yeah, she was an original.
There's a lot of people doing some window shopping on the shows, dude.
Richard Pryor's daughter, Rain Pryor, was in the show. And I forgot that Detective Torres started. Well, he didn't start here, but he was a regular in the later seasons. And his name in the show, Alex Torres.
Maybe he's a brother. Maybe they're related. This was a spin-off. This was like what the predate of New York Undercover, Steve. I mean, damn. There's a lot of names in this that I didn't realize.
It's in Michael De Lorenzo's contract. Everything must be a Torres.
I'm a method actor. I need to make the story work, okay? Everyone's related.
In 1993, Dennis the Menace premieres. When his parents must go out of town on business, Dennis stays with Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. He is driving Mr. Wilson crazy, but he is just trying to be helpful, even to the thief who has arrived in town. Directed by Nick Castle, starring Christopher Lloyd, Joan Plowright, Leah Thompson, Paul Winfield, Mason Gamble, and Walter Matthau. Horrible impression.
Tastes like paint.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. I always dug this movie. It has a great fart joke in it. It's got that Little Rascals feel where it's just these kids getting into no good. Dennis obviously being the main one. There's some great kid actors in this. There's a girl actor who's like his arch nemesis.
Margaret?
Yeah, I thought she's hilarious. The other adults that aren't Walter Matthau all kill it.
Leah Thompson.
Yeah, and the dad of Dennis, he's great because he's basically just a big white nerd. You know,
He looks the part.
he looks the part. Mrs. Wilson, Walter Matthau's wife in it, perfect.
Didn't you say you want to like bust on her tits or something like that?
Damn. Okay. I mean, we don't got to throw
That,
it out there like that for Mr.
that wasn't you, man. Somebody told me they want to bust on Mrs. Wilson's titties,
I
but
mean, honestly, in the right scenario, I'm Dennis's dad. I go over to like see if my son's over there and just catch her in a good mood. I mean, I'll throw one her way. I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
yeah,
No,
she looks like
Mr.
she is
Wilson's throwing it down hard.
taking out his partials first.
This tastes like paint. Last but not least, dude, Christopher Lloyd in this. I mean, he's unrecognizable.
Christopher Lloyd.
He looks like if this was a cartoon, he would be made like a lizard bad guy. He looks like a gross lizardy dude. He's missing teeth, hair.
Yeah.
He's got little sores all over himself. And the thing that bothered me about him, he immediately goes to this town, right? He looks fucking crazy. He goes
Yeah.
to a children's like playground, pulls a stiletto knife or a switchblade, and just starts slicing off apples like a creep. It's somebody call the cops on this guy.
Like, he has to register. I remember seeing this in the theater, man. I've always been a fan of the franchise, going back to the 80s cartoon. Dennis, the man.
Watch the black and white like live action show that was on Nick too.
That too with Jay North. Yeah, man. And the dad always looks the same, even in the cartoon. Like skinny, brunette, white dude with glasses.
Nerd.
Same haircut
Great
with
nerd.
the part.
Yep. Got the side part. He's always in a hurry to do some kind of dumb business. He's got some kind of business because he's got a great house. Hell yeah, dude. And also Dennis the Menace, he not only thwarts a kidnapping and possible killing from Christopher Lloyd, it was getting a little dicey. He messes this guy up so bad and hog ties him and rides him into town like a deer he just shot on a hunt. It's crazy.
Man, shout out to Mason Gamble. On that same day in 1993, Sleepless in Seattle premieres. A recently widowed man's son calls a radio talk show in an attempt to find his father a partner. Directed by Nora Ephron, starring Tom Hanks, love interests, Bill Pullman, Ross Malinger, and Rob Reiner.
A lot of stars in this. I don't particularly love this movie, Steve, as much as the ladies do. I can appreciate it, though. It's got a nice, sappy story. Kid trying to get his dad some sniz, which I think that's the hilarious part of this. Like, this kid's like, Dad, you need to get it wet again, man. This is depressing. Let me call into the radio.
You're down bad.
Can't get any puss. Can anyone help this guy out?
Yeah, man. I don't want my parents fucking anybody but each other. Unfortunately, that doesn't work out for everybody.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tom Hanks, I think his wife he's a widower. So unless he's into some weird shit or has some black magic in his back pocket, I think, he's got to find some new stuff. And I don't know. It's interesting. I love Bill Pullman is in this. I love that Rob Reiner's in this. Like, there's a great supporting cast to the movie. And I mean, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, it works. They look like they would fit together. And I like the kind of like antagonistic relationship turning into true love, Steve. Makes me feel nice inside.
It's their second out of 3 collaborations. The first one being Joe versus the Volcano. Then there's this one. And then You've Got AIDS.
Damn, that is weird. You Got Mail, I kind of like I was fully phased out, but I guess that Hollywood was like, look, guys, we got a new tech. You guys need to get together in a weird way again. This is working. Okay.
Yeah. And this is the most profitable out of those 3, Sleepless in Seattle. But I don't enjoy romance comedies. I know I've said this before, man, but it's just too sappy and gushy and fake.
I don't like it when it's this much romance. There's a ratio of romantic comedy where you're doing this or you're doing something like The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler, for example. Like, I love that movie. So, like, there's a way that I can tolerate it, but I need some gross out humor. I need some cursing. You gotta, like, mellow out the sappiness a little bit.
Yeah. Also in 1993, What's Love Got to Do with It premieres. The story of singer Tina Turner's rise to stardom and how she gained the courage to break free from her abusive husband, Ike Turner. Directed by Brian Gibson, starring Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne.
This exact story has been told probably 5 times in movies and TV. This is the ultimate version of it, obviously. This is it.
I think watching this movie is what helped me decide Angela Bassett's my favorite actress of all time. Everybody did their part, man. And Lawrence Fishburne as Ike, we've heard so many stories about this relationship, but Lawrence Fishburne, he really had you convinced, man. Plays such a monster in this.
He's putting stank on it, Steve, in a big way. Most of the time when it's movies like biopics like this, sometimes you'll get a huge star playing in the lead role, but it is strange sometimes when somebody as big as Lawrence Fishburne's like sitting here doing like in this movie, you know, it's like, damn, okay, well, I mean, he was in King of New York and other things where he's doing crazy shit. I mean, just look at him behind you, dude. Ike Turner, he looks like he's in Robin Hood's gang, but he was out here just slapping the shit out of Tina Turner. It's wild.
It's like the Black Beetle. Now I got the band back together, anime. You're going to get your ass back in that car and we going to play some more gigs. This dude, he rushed her out of the hospital, I guess from fatigue from doing all those shows just back to back, living on the road. She just passes out and they take her to the hospital. She needs more fluids. He goes into the hospital overnight. He's like, no, we got a show. We missing out on this money now. Dude was a monster, man.
Give me a couple of them IVs. I can figure this out. Come on. We got to get the Thunderdome real quick.
Have you seen his interviews, like the real Ike Turner?
I've seen a couple of them, man. Was he like drugged the fuck out too, though? Like he was just fucked up constantly. So this guy was like on a bender. I mean, his interviews were like James Brown's interviews, where he's all coked the fuck up with sunglasses on.
Look at those nostrils, man. That should caution you
What'd you say?
From doing, dude.
No, that's false, baby. That's false, baby.
Big ass Patrick Ewing nostrils. But
that's wild, dude. But how many awards came out of this? Was there like a lot of fanfare for this, or is it just like a publicly, like the public loved this movie?
Angela Bassett did win a Golden Globe and NAACP award. Lawrence Fishburne, really a couple people did for that. They did get nominated for the Academy, Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett, but they didn't win. So they got nominated for a lot, even an MTV Movie Award.
God damn, dude. Angela Bassett, though. Look at Lawrence Fishburne now and look at Angela Bassett. Like, I don't know if she signed some sort of contract with some entity that can keep her forever young, but you throw a wig that looks like that hair on her, she don't look any different.
And this is their second time collaborating, man. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s parents in Boys in the Hood.
Damn. See, Hollywood's like, this just works, guys. This is just magic.
Let's do that again,
Lawrence. Please don't. You gotta cut the hair though. Can't be walking around like this.
Somebody who probably didn't watch either of these on June 25th of 1993 was probably David Letterman, because they're airing the final episode of Late Night with David Letterman on NBC.
Glory days. This was a sad day, Steve. But this, you know what I love about these situations, and we saw this with Stephen Colbert recently too. When you give somebody that's a genius like this notice that they're not going to have a job anymore, that's when you get to see the magic. And I think David Letterman did that for a while. You know, he was making a lot of digs at NBC. It's cooler when he left the last time and he had Dave Grohl on, but Bruce Springsteen, I mean, it's glory days. It's a little cheesy. This is the gripe I have with this last episode.
Yeah, and only one guest, which is Tom Hanks. That's really cool, but I mean, for his last hurrah, and maybe he just didn't care at this point. He didn't want to put so much into the pot. But the CBS, like, that was the one. It was star-studded, had a lot of people in it. Like you said, Foo Fighters came out. Another thing I appreciate about Dave, he has a cool group of peers. Like, I always looked at his group and then Jay Leno, like he had the machine behind him, just endorsements and Dorito commercials. But Dave, he was cool with Howard, who was also an innovator. Like, these are two dudes who was like giving you different things to grab onto. The stupid pet tricks, the thing where he jumped on the trampoline and saw how high he could get with the Velcro You know what I mean? Just random stuff, man. And he had his cast of characters. He had the old guy, was it Melman? I can never remember his
Oh
name,
yeah,
man.
but the guy that the like lounge singer guy.
Bud Melman. And then he also had Biff, the guy that worked the production, the black guy.
Oh yeah. He had great bits. Like that was one thing that he always just had, and they were long lasting. Like I know it's cheesy, but his top tens were great.
The top
Stupid,
tens.
everything that he was putting out that wasn't his like panel interviews, great. He also was great at selecting bands and like stand up comedians and stuff too. He was one of those like tastemaker guys.
And speaking of bands, I don't want to overlook the camaraderie he's had with Paul Schaefer throughout the years, man. You know, I love that bond that they've had. Like, I want to say Paul Schaefer's been there from day one, from the very first episode of this in NBC, man.
And it worked so good too. So good. I mean, they parodied it a lot on like SNL and stuff, but it was that funny in real life as well. They just played off each other so well.
Got any gum? He said he got any gum.
Plus, Paul Schaefer just looks weird, but I always thought it was funny. Like, there was two ways to do a late night show. Either you talk and you're like Second Bananas, like the band leader, or you have like a Andy Richter, Ed McMahon type. And I don't. It would have been funny to see David Letterman just have a guy next to him to deal with, but I always liked that, man. Like he just like Paul would like, strum on the keys a little bit, say some weird thing, and they would just laugh together like they weren't being filmed on national TV live. It was great.
Shout out to those guys, man. But 1995, WWF is airing King of the Ring 95 at Core State Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Guts and glory.
Going into EC Dub territory, though, that's dangerous, Steve. You don't want to go to Philly without having your shit tightened up. And I think it's widely regarded that no wrestling had their shit tightened up in 95. And I think this pay-per-view, everything I read about it and have heard about it, no one likes it, Steve. And I think I understand why.
It's considered the worst King of the Ring of all time. And it doesn't even have Art Donovan. Art Donovan, I think that provided some entertainment. And plus, they had Owen Hart the previous year.
Bret won, then Owen won, and then fucking Mabel won. What the hell? What?
Dude, it just goes to show they were pushing this guy to the moon, all 700 pounds of him. But I didn't understand it then. I definitely don't understand it now.
I was listening to Jim Cornette kind of talk about this King of the Ring just for like, some background. And he said like it's kind of like a stereotypical thing that at least then in professional wrestling, when stuff they couldn't figure out what to do to like push the next person, size was the thing where it was like, if he's big, push him. Yeah, we need these Godzilla motherfuckers out here that you just like, they're huge, and like size was the thing. But I understand that if it's like Paul White, or Kevin Nash, but when it's somebody fat as fat, I don't get it, and just like I'm not even fat. Like Bam Bam Bigelow's fat, but this motherfucker can do flips off of the top rope. Mabel can't run a lap around a track, Steve.
And he's sloppy, not just sloppy built, but he's sloppy in the ring. And we'll get into that too, man. They start this off with a qualifying match, I guess because Razor Ramon couldn't compete. He had broken ribs. So they have IRS and Savio Vega before they even do the introduction.
And I guess this was Savio Vega's first pay-per-view appearance, Steve, as Savio Vega. Didn't he play another character that was
was Quang?
Quang, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Savio Vega, I mean, between these two, I don't know, man. I like Savio Vega, but he was always cool in like a group of dudes. The IRS is cool too, but I mean, I don't know. He's just funny. He's gimmicky, I like the guy. He's big. He's angry. It works.
He's Bray Wyatt's dad too, so cool points. But Savio Vega, he wins this worthless match. And then after that, we get to the actual introduction, where we got Vinnie Mac and Doc Hendricks, a.k.a. Michael P.S. Hayes, on the mic.
Not a great duo, Steve. There's a lot of iconic announcing duos. Doc Hayes, I don't know. It's like he stole like Bobby the Brain's notes and is trying to like be Bobby that like be that antagonistic announcer. You know, he's not very good at it though.
Talking about late night television, who was the guy that was the band leader for Johnny Carson? Wasn't it Doc?
I'd have to look it up. I think you're right though, but I don't know what his last name was.
And yeah, that's partially the inspiration. Then Hendrix, obviously Jimi Hendrix, because Michael PSA's, he's a legend in the ring, man. He's done the Fabulous Freebirds, and they had a lot of legendary angles, you know, going back to the Von Erichs. But here in the 90s, nah, man. But I will also say he was a part of one of the most historic moments in wrestling because he was the guy that interviewed Stone Cold.
Okay. But he was just standing there. Stone Cold had all the magic. He gets on the mic. It's like me trying to freestyle, Steve. It's just painful.
Well, he was a part of. He was there. Like, yeah, he was there.
He was there.
You know, yeah.
He's in the still image. He's in the historic photo.
And he reacted. Says, "I'll just whip your ass."
Yeah,
but
hell yeah.
The first match is Yokozuna with Jim Cornette versus Savio Vega. We see Todd Pettengill in the back with Razor Ramon and Savio Vega. This was always weird to me when they're having an interview right before their match. It's like, all right, Todd, all right, I'm going to get going now. Wish me luck.
I mean, the thing you have to give Savio, well, I don't want to ruin this, but this guy is wrestling multiple matches in a night. Like, you know,
yeah,
they're putting a lot on this guy's shoulders. Savio versus Yokozuna, I don't see a pathway for Savio to win, but he does, Steve. You know, he's got a couple of insecurity kicks. He knocks Yokozuna out of the ring, but at this point, I think they say Yokozuna is over 600 pounds. So it's a miracle he even got out there.
That's always the thing. He breaks a rope and falls, or he falls outside. Who was the guy? King of Hippo from Mike Tyson. That's all. He falls down once, you're done. He's done.
He can't get up, Steve. He can't get up in a 10-second count at least. But I mean, Savio, Steve, he advances. He beats this legend. I don't know, man. This is again wonky. Everything's just a little wonky in the writing here.
A little? That's mild, but yeah. Then this stupid angle with Jerry and Bret. We cut to Jerry Lawler in the locker room, and he's got these cum rags for socks. So, like, I get it, you're a heel, but why the visuals, man?
Yeah, it's disgusting. And a gimmick of a match where the loser has to suck some of the other guy's foot or kiss his foot. I don't care for it. I'll suck a toe in the midst of passion on a lovely lady, but Lawler's walking around in, like you said, cum socks that he's just been like working out for weeks. He's saying it stinks. Everyone around him is saying there's an odor. It looks like there's an odor. Remember when they showed the feet in that scene in Don't Be a Menace where they're like having food sex and there's just like, she has like witch feet. He's got like witch feet, Steve, or hobbit feet, something.
But the next match is the Roadie with Jeff Jarrett versus Bob Sparkplug Holly.
I like he didn't get serious until he cut that luscious mullet that he had. But this is still when he was just he was a racer, Steve, I'm assuming.
You still didn't like him, did you?
No.
When he cut the hair, you didn't give a
fuck. He
fuck.
had no charisma, man. Other than as an adult, and you hear like, "Oh, this guy would whoop someone's ass." Like, okay, well, that's cool, but you got to translate that to being cool, like on screen. He was just boring, you know.
Yeah.
There's nothing cool about it, and also I hate race like NASCAR. So if that's your gimmick, I'm like, suck an egg, Spark.
Suck a turd. Yeah, but Bob Holly, to get to this match, Matt, he had to defeat the Mantar.
You stole my takeaway, Steve.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, that was going to be my end takeaway this week, but I was like, what? The shitty matches we saw on the King of the Ring were preceded by even shittier matches, one of which was including this guy named Mantar, who... I don't know, Steve. I never heard of this. The guy who played Mantar almost looks like he's related in some way to Kevin Sullivan, like the Sullivan crew. He's gross looking. He's got the weird face paint. But Mantar, did he? I'm assuming he took the ridiculous Mantar like head off after the entrance.
the bison head or whatever the hell.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, he takes it off, but I mean, he's better off keeping it on, man. But we talk shit about 95 WCW, 95 Vince, you're not off the hook either.
Mantar, though, like, it almost seems like it's something you'd say to somebody with special needs, first off. And secondly, just like, if you thought this looked good in any way, like, shame on you. Like, did you have a stroke? There had to have been like 5 people that were like, hell yeah, Vince. Hell, that's what happens when you have yes man around you all the time. Like, nobody says, hey, Vince, Mantar, this guy coming out with the same hat that Bobby's dad and uncle had in Bobby's World for that weird elephant club that they were in. It's the same freaking thing, Steve.
Hey, Bobo.
A Mantar never forgets a friend.
The fucking Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble shit.
I mean, 95 has to be the worst year in wrestling, like, period. If you got Mantar going, like, that's the bottom, right? And there's even other ones. Like, did Shockmaster come out in 95, Steve? That has to be close.
It was earlier, probably about like a year or two.
Oh, man. This was a rough couple of years for wrestling in general, man. WCW and WWF, the best they had was Mabel and Mantar. That's tough.
ECW might have had them all beat in 95, at least for a moment, man. And something that I do appreciate, knowing what we know now, we can look at these times and see this evolution and progress, because the Roadie, who would eventually be the Road Dog, man, he's showing off some of those dance moves. They're not as they're not as crispy as they eventually be, but he's showing them off. You're getting samples.
He threw a little too much in. It wasn't just the shake and rattle. He threw like too much roll onto it at the end. But yeah, I mean, you're seeing like what's gonna come, and it's crazy. Somebody like the Roadie turned into somebody that I was like rabidly like into in DX. Road Dog, absolutely. I'm all in. Let's hang out. Roadie,
How did he get the win?
I think Bob Holly like jumps off the top rope and Roadie's on the ground, and he puts his like foot up and catches Bob Holly on the chin, and that's it. There was no like special move. It was just like, oh, he reversed it. It's over.
Yeah, it's Bob Holly. You can end him with a secondary move, if that.
Not in real life, Steve. Don't say that to Bob Holly in real life. He'll throw 5 across your face.
It's a different story outside that ring. But now Todd's backstage with HBK in his dog tag vest. He's got a match coming up with Kama, the fighting machine.
The supreme fighting machine, Steve. Not just a fighting machine. He's the supreme fighting machine.
Supreme.
I'd also like to ask him if he went to the same barber as Balrog from Street Fighter 2, because it's pretty close.
I hate it so much, just like
it's crazy.
Let me ask you this, Matt. Can you rank the 4 Charles Wright characters? You have Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine. You got Kama Mustafa, back when he was wearing the Golden Child hat with Nation of Domination. You got Godfather, and then you have Papa Shango.
That's really tough, honestly. I like Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine, simply because he was able to melt Undertaker's urn down and create a gold chain out of it. So I'm going to go.
That is pretty baller.
I'm going to go Godfather first, because, I mean,
he had the hose.
Come on, he had all the hose. And then I'm going to throw Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine, right under that because of what I just said. And then because I liked Nation of Domination. I don't really think I liked him that much. And I liked
when he was doing that, yeah.
I liked Papa Shango as a child because of the weird like black magic angle, him making like warrior bleed black liquid out of his head, whatever it was.
Weird.
So 3 and 4, it's tough. I think I'm going to put Papa Shango at the bottom because ultimately he was like not as cool as the other people around him. But I like the Nation of Domination so much. So, 3 and 4, it's a coin toss. But yeah, I mean, Godfather, come on.
Godfather.
That's pretty crazy, though. He has 4 gimmicks, and they all kind of worked for their time. Yeah. They weren't like Mantar. He didn't get that treatment. Still crazy. Mantar, dude. Like, did you clock him ever? Like, is that something you remembered from a kid? Because I remember
No.
nothing of that guy.
I was not watching wrestling at all in 95. I think I was focused on other stuff and I didn't return. I think the last thing I watched was the Lawrence Taylor Bam Bam pay-per-view. We ordered that. Then I didn't return until Stone Cold.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you because there was a time where I learned how to masturbate where I was like, there was nothing else that I was going to be paying attention to. So, you know, Mantar, you got to go, buddy. I got to get that Playboy Channel blurry vision going so I could just smack away upstairs.
I mean, we were at our coming of age years at that point.
I was coming of age a lot those years, Steve.
Yeah. Then during this match, they keep showing these creepers. It looks like the one guy was nodding off on heroin, man. I don't know if you saw that.
I think these were like people that were associated with they were like Undertaker fans. They would just show up at multiple events. So they'd show him. But so I think if you watched a couple of like Raws or whatever was on, these people would be in the audience. So like when Undertaker would come out, Marilyn Manson's sidekicks are hanging out over there waiting, Steve.
He's supposed to be a cult leader in 95. They don't know what they're doing. This pay-per-view is a hot mess, man. Even going to the entrance music. Did you notice that they cut into Shawn Michaels' music halfway through?
You got to start from, I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. That's a disrespect to Jimmy Hart, honestly. I don't like that at all. And it just goes to show, Steve. This whole pay-per-view is doomed from the start. They couldn't even get the music right. Yeah. They're not paying Shawn Michaels the respect he deserves, but Mabel gets to walk away with the crown, Steve. Nothing makes sense.
Is it too late to call a mulligan? Shawn Michaels, man, he's doing these little boxing jukes, like mimicking Kama. Like, yeah.
I think there's like a famous boxer in the audience too that they cut to.
Isn't Joe Frazier?
I think it's Joe. It's somebody. I was like, who is it? Because I didn't write it down, but I think it is Joe Frazier. So maybe he's paying a little respect to the champs, dude.
This ends up being a 15-minute time limit draw, and because of that, they're both eliminated from the tournament. But
yeah,
we did get to see a crispy sweet chin music from Shawn.
There was something else in this as well that I liked. I just thought the match was good, but the finish, it's just like, it just kind of like nullifies it. But it isn't a bad match.
Now we go to Mabel. They show the recap of what happened with him. Mabel, he beat Adam Bomb, and he has a match with Undertaker, who beat Jeff Jarrett.
Adam Bomb, there's another waste of a gimmick right there too. Did Adam Bomb ever win anything, Steve?
Well, he was in a cool tag team called Chronic. They had a cool tag team, but they just didn't get the push because it happened at a time when WCW didn't know what the hell they were doing.
We'll go back to the actual show, but just Chronic, was that like a reference to Pod, or was it just...
I'm not sure.
That's cool.
I'm not sure.
Tag team name. Yeah, Mabel versus Undertaker. Obviously, it sucks as a match because Mabel's in it. Undertaker, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, can't make Mabel look good because he's sloppy, Steve, just like you said. This guy was like a giant wrecking ball. Apparently, he fucked a lot of people up.
He fucked up Taker in this. Do you remember when Taker had to wear the Phantom of the Opera mask?
Yeah.
It's because of this match.
Oh, what, he fuck his nose up, or what, break his orbital bone or some shit?
That big drumstick leg drop he puts on Taker at the end, yeah, man. He's like put all of that weight on his face.
That's what Jim Cornette was saying. He's like, I don't got anything against the man, nice dude, but like he had no control over his weight. He was just a big dude that just like threw it around. But I don't think Yokozuna was like crushing people. At least I haven't heard of it. Maybe he was, but he could stop it.
You would have heard. Yeah. Like,
and you'd think if he's 600 pounds, like you'd think there'd be a lot of stories of that. But like everything I looked up about Mabel in general in this week, like hurting people on his way to his rise and shit, which is, it's wild he got so far, but it shows you they prized a giant dude. I mean, he's a huge dude.
Yeah, he legit hurt Taker, man. And I think Taker ended up taking some time out because of that. And then he returned with that mask. But Kama, he actually shows up in this match. Of course, the ref's knocked out.
Yeah, dude. That's the only way Mabel can win against Undertaker. So Taker, he's out, Steve.
they show the Hall of Fame induction, and I guess it was different back in the 90s where like now you have the Hall of Fame induction as a part of the WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
But back then they did it in the summer, and they even had Bill Murray
On an elephant, Steve.
on an elephant inducting George Steele.
At first I was like, man, that guy sounds like Bill Murray. And then I looked up, I was like, holy shit. Why was he on an elephant though? Was he in a movie about was he in Operation Dumbo Drop or something, Steve?
Why is he doing this? That you and George the Animal Steele, I don't see the correlation.
That's Bill Murray's like MO. He just shows up sometimes. Like, oh, you need me to do something? I got an elephant.
Yeah, I went to Baskin Robbins, and sure enough, man, Speckler.
Hell yeah, dude. But I mean, I did think that was cool. That was the one dude who I kind of knew the name, but
Ernie Ladd, Fabulous Moolah, Ivan Putski, Pedro Morales, Ernie Roth, Antonino Rocca.
Fabulous Moolah.
Now we got Savio Vega with Reza Ramon versus the Roadie and Jeff Jarrett.
Not good, Steve.
Savio wins with a surprise roll-up. And they have a translator bit after Savio wins, and it's low-key racist because he's got the Spanish announcer talking to him, and they're both speaking in Spanish. And here comes Doc Hendricks. He's like, yeah, I'll translate it for y'all. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to stop stealing hubcaps, so I hope this wrestling thing works out for me. I gotta feed my family back home because it's impoverished third world country. And I'm like, dude, okay.
Doc, chill out. Save it for the back, buddy. Chill the hell out. I mean, I know this was like a shtick, but there's a lot of cutting to the French and Spanish tables, like language announcing tables, a lot. Because honestly, Doc Hendricks can't improv for more than a couple minutes unless it's racist, Steve. And then he's in his element.
Yeah, he's also a drinker. He might have been lit, man. Won't you go mow my lawn? But the next match is Jerry the King Lawler versus Bret the Hitman Hart in a Kiss My Foot match because it's 95. Why not?
Respecting Jerry the King Lawler, dude. One of my favorite personalities in wrestling, was part of wrestling history before wrestling, like in the early days, man, with Andy Kaufman, very famous. So I don't want to besmirch him. I mean, he's able to wrestle, Steve. He's an older guy. He's wrestling Bret Hart. He's got a couple moves that are, his pile driver and maybe an elbow drop he's got in the bag. And that's really it, Steve. I mean, and this is all culminating so somebody can suck a guy's foot on TV. So I'm just not feeling it. But Bret Hart does win this. Not only makes the King suck his foot, he bends the King like a pretzel and makes him suck his own foot.
Yeah, all of it's gross.
Us to Isaac Yankem DDS, Steve, because the foot that his disgusting yuck mouth foot thing that he had going on caused a bunch of issues with his mouth. So that led to him calling Isaac Yankem, aka Kane, to get his grill fixed. But I mean, come on, man. Sucking a fucking dirty foot. What is this?
Yeah.
Howard Stern?
I want to stick my toes in your mouth.
Do you know what I do to you right now? Do you know what I would do to that foot right now? Terrible.
Yeah. The final match that decides it all is Mabel with Mo versus Savio Vega. And again, shit show. Mabel wins with a big splash and possibly injuring Savio Vega in the process.
I mean, everybody in the arena was over this at this point. So, there was no pop for anyone when they were coming out to the ring. They're booing the match.
They're booing.
I think there's is there an ECW chant in this? Because they're in Philly. I think they're chanting ECW at some point.
Possibly.
They should.
Strong possibility.
Because it's an ass match. It sucks. Mabel wins. I like he's got his bro there to read this dumbass scroll about him, like when he's getting crowned. But the thing that made me laugh so hard, Steve, and it's almost a little heartbreaking, during his coronation, Mabel's sitting on his throne. He's got his crown, and this big paper ball just drills him in the face from the crowd. And you can see him get visibly sad, and then he goes back into character and is like, But he deserved it. It was a terrible match. It was a terrible King of the Ring. I didn't even get any of my favorites other than just some visuals, Steve. I got to see Razor Ramon get his ass whooped, which I hate. It's just not good. So, Vince, thanks for stepping up after this, because this one, if you can bury it, bury it.
Two of the best performers weren't even in a match on the card, man. Like the Hardy Boys are the two guys opening the doors wearing those royal pajamas or onesies, whatever the hell.
That's crazy, too. I mean, obviously you can't tell because they literally have like military haircuts, but it is fun. They're just sitting there in those little medieval Ren Fair uniforms opening doors.
Hey, man, got to pay your dues.
Yes, that's true, man. There's like, I'll get you in. Just open. We need to open these doors. It's not working, so get out.
When am I going to get my first match, Vince? Just open those doors and wear these pajamas.
Cut your hair, you hippie.
Lame main event. You're ending this with a tag team match that has no bearing. There's not a belt up for grabs. We have Sycho Sid with DiBiase and Tantaka versus Bam Bam Bigelow and Diesel. Now, I do not like Bam Bam as a face at all. I prefer my Bam Bam as a heel.
The one thing I do like about Bam Bam, and I forgot they gave him this capability, when he comes out, he's got like shooters coming out. He's shooting flamethrowers out of his wrist, Steve. So that's pretty dope. But I don't know, man. There's something about Kevin Nash and Bam Bam. I like them when they're talking shit. I don't like this.
It's like making a peanut butter and piss sandwich. I do like the fireballs, but
that's great. I'm sorry. Props on that. That's a great metaphor, Steve.
Barry Horowitz. But I do think the jacket sucks. The little fireballs are cool. The jacket, it's very, I don't know, Cruella de Vil. I don't know.
Oh, it's the same thing that Taker had. He had like a crazy popped collar jacket that, you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't like
he was
that.
like a Rita Repulsa soldier or something. It doesn't work. But I love Bam Bam just for being a fat, crazy wrestler that actually was a good fat wrestler, Steve. Props. Not in this. I mean, nobody was really stepping up here, Steve. This is a sloppy match. I don't like Tantaka as a villain. He looks like he runs a strip club in this. He's lost all of his pride as a Native American, and now he's fully DiBiase'd out, Steve.
He sold his soul. I mean, everybody has a price. DiBiase 316.
Tatanka, go run my pussy club.
All of Philadelphia gave up on this shit because even Sid, he gave up on it. He just leaves mid-match like, man, fuck this shit. I'm going to go back home, play some softball.
Tatanka sucks.
Yeah, Tantaka, go suck one. And Diesel, Bam Bam, all right, I'll holla at y'all motherfuckers.
Diesel is one of the sloppiest jackknifes in this, too. I don't know. I think he was injured, somebody said. Like, I think he had an arm injury or something as a real person, but there is just some sloppiness going. I don't think anybody even wanted to be here at this point. I think even the wrestlers were like, dude, Mabel won? Fuck. Doesn't even matter. What am I doing for?
Yeah, Diesel and Bam Bam, they win the match, but none of this whole card doesn't matter, man. I think it would have been better if they brought Art Donovan back. How much is that guy weigh?
I mean, at least we'd be laughing the whole time. Doc Hendricks on the one, and shitty match, and Doc on the ones and twos. It's a match made in hell, Steve, and not even the good way.
Dick Hendricks, how much is that weigh?
Why? Who is that? Who is that guy? We don't know. We don't know, Art. We don't, because this whole pay-per-view is fugazi as shit.
What's a Razor Ramon? I want to braid his chest hair.
Why is that guy besmirching spit?
That following year, 1996, Jay-Z would release his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, and the world would never be the same again.
Yeah, it ain't my favorite Jay-Z album, but this led to everything else, Steve. And this gave us the Notorious B.I.G. collab as well, which we didn't get a lot of time to have these two gentlemen on our album together, so that's always dope.
Brooklyn's finest. I'm out for presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me. Just depending on who you ask, this is the best Jay-Z album, man. It's not my favorite. It's up there, but
I can't
just
really
know.
rank them, honestly. Like that, there's like in 5 years where it was like Blueprint. I forget all of the names of the
Mhm.
albums and stuff. Where it was just like bangers. It wasn't front to back, but he was making a lot of fucking hits. So, but this
Yeah,
album was
man.
good, man. I was listening to it while I was working out, and I'm not the biggest Jay-Z head in general. I respect it. I was into it back in the day, but what are you gonna say? What more can I say?
Dun, 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 dun. What more can I do? Do, do, do.
Where does this stack in your list of Jay-Z?
Top 5, yeah, probably top 3. This is, I'm looking at Blueprint, and then Volume 2. Volume 2, that is full of bangers.
Fire.
Yeah. Then I'd probably say this one.
There was one other one, but I'm not gonna stall us out and try to look at the list. But I agree, top 5 for sure, for sure.
Great cameos, like you said, Big, Mary J. Blige, Foxy Brown. Ain't no, not the one I got. No one can fuck you better. Sleeps around when he gets me a lot.
That is a fucking damn. Going back, Steve. Gonna go back. I'm gonna have to re-listen.
Friends should tell me I should leave you alone. Leave you alone. That following year, 1997, Wake Forest power forward Tim Duncan is the first pick by the San Antonio Spurs. What a game changer.
I didn't realize how quickly this translated into like championships, but yeah, man. Tim Duncan, he wasn't gonna like wow you with some kind of dipsy doodle shit. He's just going to bury you with fundamental basketball. I wasn't that fully into basketball in these years, but anytime I was and was rooting for a specific team, you know who would dominate them and kill my dreams that year? Probably Tim Duncan, Steve.
I always appreciate an athlete whose game face is this.
Yep.
That's his game. That's his game face.
Hey,
And the reason I love it is because you can't break a player like that. I've seen interviews where people were like, yeah, man, I was talking trash to Tim and he didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. He just kept going back to the side of the court, playing defense, then just kept busting my ass.
Yeah, hitting a damn bouncing. It was just always, it was not flashy, but he would dominate the shit out of you. So, I mean, Tim Duncan, when he got to the Spurs, they had fantastic teams like throughout his career, but to put him with David Robinson too, I mean,
Yeah.
how would you, as another team, you're looking at two guys where it's like, well, we got to figure out those two, and then what else do we got at that point? So it's not surprising, man. Like that was a crazy stacked team for a while. I was never a Spurs fan, but I was definitely a Tim Duncan and David Robinson fan.
When he joined them, they had one of the worst records in the league. A big reason is because David Robinson was out. I want to say the whole season. There are certain players who they're the best at their position. Like who's the best two guard of all time? Most people would say Jordan. Who's the best wide receiver of all time? Most people are going to say Jerry Rice. It's kind of like universally accepted. Who's the greatest tag team of all time? Most people are going to say Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. When it comes to power forwards, Tim Duncan is universally the GOAT of the four.
Yeah, I don't know who you're going to put above him. And just in terms of like how long he done, I mean, did he ever have an off year? Did he ever have any, like, I don't really think so. I can't ever remember anybody like on ESPN going, man, like Tim Duncan really needs to step it up this next year. Like he fell off. Like there was never any talk of that. And
Never.
when he had those teams with like Ginobili and
Parker,
all those, it was just like, well, fuck, man. Like it's a super team at this point. And they were doing it. You know, how many championships did he have?
5.
Damn. Yeah, and he's probably still like you show that picture again. Somebody's like, Tim, you having fun? He's like, yeah, I'm doing good. He's cold blooded, Steve. That's what that really is.
Yeah.
Look at his hand. It ain't shaking like mine is, Steve.
He's a killer. That following year, 1998, New York covers airing season 4, episode 12, The Troubles, series finale. When a woman becomes a fugitive, Nina uses her daughter to help find her. Meanwhile, Stone's life becomes threatened.
Tackling a lot of stuff in New York Undercover this episode that I would never assume. IRA gangs, Steve, the Irish coming in. Were they aware that this was going to be the last episode of the show ever? Obviously, they weren't aware of that.
That's a great question because it's just not right how this series ended, man. They couldn't have known. I feel like it was like, all right, man, we got to wrap this because the fact that it ended in the summertime.
I just wonder what happened because it's like this show is freaking good. You know, like was it like a pay thing for somebody, or like was there like some kind of internal struggle that they were like, we're not going to put up with this anymore?
Ratings dropped, bro. Once Torres died, like a huge part of the fan base like
Damn, that's what
left,
did it,
man.
huh? Eddie going, really? I wonder if that is what it was.
That's what it was for me because I watched this religiously, man, every Thursday after Martin and Living Single. And once he got blown up in that car, I was like, bro, what? Okay, Tommy, he's the lieutenant, and I love Tommy, man, big fan. But dude, like, you don't even have the female lieutenant anymore. Like, y'all just doing some. The theme song is different.
Those you lost the lady, you lost the theme song. The poster of the show was the lady, Torres, and JC. I never saw Tommy in this, and I love Tommy, but unfortunately for Tommy, I love Martin so much. I cannot. It's like if you put Cole and he was I'd be like, it's freaking Cole, man. Like this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, he's like the boss of some office. Like Cole Brown.
Come
on,
man.
That's Cole.
Yeah, you ain't feeling me. I don't think it's a bad episode necessarily, but I think it's odd that this was just it. There's no like illusion where you're like, oh well, JC went and did this, or G finally got laid from that very old girl he's dating. Something.
No closure. We start this one off with Malcolm. That's Tommy's name in this. Malcolm Barker. He's talking to JC. Apparently, he set Malcolm up with a chick with a little blind date.
Yeah, and Malcolm's like, how are you telling me she looks like Janet Jackson? It's one of those.
Yeah.
I feel like JC tells him, like, oh, yeah, I hit that. Like
Malcolm, he's like, well, dude, if she's that great, man, why didn't you do anything, man? I did.
Enjoy my leftovers. So
smell this.
Yeah, exactly. I just did it. Okay. But I'm sick of it. But they look up on the TV and see like a news report that there's like a hostage situation going on, and it's right down the street. So instead of worrying about that hookup he's about to have, Malcolm and JC are like, let's skedaddle. Let's get down there and help out.
So they have this standoff. The guy, he's trying to bargain. He's trying to make a deal with them. Like, hey, man, if you come out, you'll have your voice heard, man. We got the news out here, got helicopters out here. So if you want to make a stand, this is your perfect opportunity, and we'll give you that.
Yeah. Cops like, I don't know how many people in here. There's one bad guy. His name's Ethan, but his demands are like, you have to tell Britain to get out of Ireland. It's like, I'm a New York detective. Like, I don't know what the reality of this is.
Yeah, so, we don't have that kind of pull.
Yeah, but they agree to release some hostages as like a sign of good faith. And the hostages come out, but as they're walking out, JC's eagle-eyeing them. And I mean, I'm looking at him for 5 seconds and going, wait, those people are all Irish. And the guy that was talking was Irish. And JC puts that together too and is like, stop them. Those are the bad guys. And they try to pull a Man on the Inside Spike Lee movie style where they get out in the scuffle, Steve. JC's like, what's in your pocket? And they find like a freaking Mac 10 and a bag of money. So these are the bank robbers, Steve. They try to pull a fast one.
Oh, and you're Ethan, right? And the guy just winks at him. And then we cut to that shitty theme music.
They got some guy to just rip off some porno music, I feel like. That's what it's
some Skinamax. Back at the precinct, apparently Tommy, he had to miss out on his blind date. He's got bigger fish to fry. They asked, like, how did y'all know these weren't hostages? The real hostages apparently were in the bank.
They were in the vault. Like, they found the vault locked up. But apparently now these Irish people that they arrested who were the bank robbers, they're claiming asylum. They're political prisoners. Apparently that's a great loophole, Steve. That's a way to get out of jail quick, apparently. So they got him there. There's a guy who's above Malcolm, and he's like, look, what we really need to do is, like, see if these people are in the IRA, and if the IRA is like doing something even more sinister in the city. We're not just going to close this case. I think there's something else going on, so we're going to do some investigation here.
And Delaney, being Irish herself, she volunteers to go undercover for this sting. And then we cut back to Malcolm and Timothy. There's an interrogation with all of these Irish terrorists, and he's telling them, "You're in my house. The only way out is through me."
Yeah, he's really putting the screws to that guy. The whole team's going at this 4 people. So a couple of weird methods though. I think Stone takes a muffin out and takes like a little bite, and then he just shoves it in the guy's mouth. He's like, "You gonna talk right now," and then shoves a muffin in his mouth, which makes him unable to talk. Stone. It makes no sense.
Especially with no milk, he's going to struggle.
he needs something to fucking moisten up that mouth after that. What looked like a dry muffin, Steve. I'm just
dry ass muffin.
Yeah.
Muffin was ashy.
The Irish, Steve, they're notoriously tough people in terms of gangsters. There's no snitching in Ireland, Steve.
There's no snitching in the street codes. Even in the island, we got Ethan, and then you got Seamus, you got Ann. There's Timothy
O'Hurley.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all Irish.
And by the way, top of the morning to you.
That's all I was thinking the whole time. I was like, please play this at some point. It's the only Irish gangster song of all time.
Well, pack it up, pack it in, man. But Ann, she's paranoid. She's not giving any names, man. They could kill her.
You don't know what you're asking me to do, young lady. So we cut to this guy, this very nice looking Irish guy, this very well-to-do looking Irish guy, suited and booted. And we see that the whole team of gangsters, they actually got bailed out, Steve. These guys who performed an armed robbery, hostage situation, cost the city millions of dollars, they're out of jail within, I don't even know if it was 24 hours, Steve.
And this well-dressed Irish man, that's Flanagan, and he's the guy that bailed them out. He's pissed that they tried to rob this bank. He's like, man, what the hell? Y'all supposed to lay low. I didn't bring y'all over here to be on some set it off Cleo-ish, man. But we were broke. We haven't heard from you.
What did you tell them? What did you tell the police? And they're like, we didn't tell them anything. They all sound the same, Steve. And Flanagan tells them, he's like, look, you have to go home. We can't keep you here. You fucked it all up. So I've arranged for you to go home. You just got to lay low for a while. So they're under the impression that they're going home. They're fighting it because, dude, these are Irish freedom fighters, Steve. These guys are in for the cause. They don't want to go home, but they've kind of screwed the pooch here because Flanagan's like, what's up with all this bank robbery stuff? And they even say, like, we need money for guns and stuff. So this is how we're doing it. And I guess Flanagan ain't about that life. Well, he is, but he's not.
You're no longer any use for this cause. And then we cut to Delaney at the bar. She's talking to the bartender, and apparently he knows her dad or knew her dad.
Yeah, because this bar was in her neighborhood, which they mentioned when they were like, you're going to go undercover at this bar because it's an IRA bar. So she talks to the guy. If you're an undercover cop and you're trying to get in, like, this is the easiest way in. She comes in, is like, hey, I'm back. And the guy's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm unemployed. And he just gives her a job, Steve. Perfect. No questions asked. Let me do the background check. Oh, I see here you're in the NYPD. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Now we see Ann. She meets Nina in an alley. She wanted to meet, but she doesn't want to give names. She's like, they could kill me. So Nina's like, who's they?
You called me. I was about to go get some ice cream, and now I'm here. So either say something or I'm about to go to Ben & Jerry's. Stat. So we cut from that to JC and Stone. They're casing the actual apartment. They're looking up at the windows. They're shooting the shit in the car. JC's like, look, man, like, we're just going to sit tight. Like, we just want to make sure they don't leave because we know, like, they got bailed out. They're going to leave the country if we don't keep tabs on them. But as he's saying that, pop, 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 they're looking up in the window. They see muzzle flashes. Oh, maybe we should have been paying a little bit more attention.
Put those donuts down. So they go in there. Timothy, Ethan, and Seamus, they're all popped.
They're deader than disco, Steve. Executed. They're just laying there. So cut to the precinct, and Malcolm's like, oh, hey, guys who were casing the joint, what the hell? What happened? You were looking at the window. You didn't see anybody go in there? And they're like, look, man, like, we were just told to look. You didn't tell us there was like some risk of these guys getting offed. Which, I mean, come on. You guys were sitting there watching. I think you knew that might be something going on here, but There's a lot of like talk about who's responsible for this. A lot of people think that there's some sort of British like MI5 people in the city killing these Irish people because of the conflict between British and Ireland that is being like discussed in this episode. So who knows, Steve? Could it be the Brits? Irish people don't kill each other, Steve. Well, they do, but you know.
They find out who bailed them out. It was the Ireland Peace Fund. I think that's the next move. Once they realize that, it's like we have to infiltrate that now and see what's up. Delaney, you need to go in there and let them know that you're sensitive to the cause.
Yeah, really go in. Malcolm's going to go check on this organization. Cut to Delaney at the Irish bar. And she's listening, Steve. She's got her ear down. Everybody in this bar is abuzz about this whole thing going on with these Irish people. They're dead. They basically know everything that's going on. And they're like, it's crazy. I wonder who did it. And everyone in the bar is kind of saying it's the British. Delaney keeps opening her mouth and saying like, well, how do you know it's this? And she's like kind of playing devil's advocate. But then we see like this bald guy just paying a lot of attention to what she's saying, Steve. And even the bartender who knows Delaney's like, you might want to quiet down a little bit. There's a lot of IRA people in here. They might smoke you.
The guy, Jason Statham, Timu version is eavesdropping. Now we're at the funeral, and Flanagan, he's giving a speech and talking about how the Brits were responsible. He's trying to put that in everyone's heads. JC, they're there and they follow Flanagan. They question him and they find out that like those guys weren't terrorists. They were misguided countrymen who deserve a second chance. That's what Flanagan said, at least.
He's playing good old boy. He's like, I'm just here trying to ease tensions between Catholics and Protestants. What do you think? I have an involvement in this. So he's walking them around. He's even saying the Brits probably did it to the cops. He's trying to like echo that. Then he basically is like, you think I'm some kind of gangster? Why don't you follow me and see what I'm all about? So they follow him. They're like, okay, well, take us to whatever you're doing. Cut to a school, Steve. And it's a school JC knows a lot because his son G goes to it. And in fact, coincidentally, his son G is in a class where Flanagan is talking. And I don't know what this is. Like maybe it's a class or it's like Model UN or something.
A debate?
Yeah, it's some kind of debate thing. And like there's a Catholic Irish guy and a Protestant Irish girl, or it's vice versa. And Flanagan's like mediating it. And he's making the peace, Steve. He's Gandhiing this situation.
We went to school in the 90s with some Protestants and some Catholics. I don't remember this beef being a thing.
Yeah, I mean, down in Perrysburg, Ohio, we didn't give a shit. The people in our school were like, "You're fat," or "You're a nerd. You're a nerd. You're different, not Irish or Protestant." So he's basically Flanagan's running some kind of like foreign exchange program where they find people in, I'm not going to say impoverished Ireland, but like caught in this conflict that's going on in Ireland and bring them to America to sort of mend the fence. And I guess like maybe make awareness to the world at large about what's going on. But they do that. We cut outside. JC and G talk for a second. I want to spin off with G, Steve. This kid's dating a chick that's maybe a decade older than him. I can't even tell at this point.
A whole foot taller.
I mean, Rochelle, she might have a day job. I don't know. But I think JC's come to terms with this a little bit because he's very polite to Rochelle in this episode. It's not the aggressive way he talked to her when he caught her in his apartment. Him and G just have a conversation. I think G's like, well, are you like investigating something in her school? And he has to be like, well, I can't talk about it, you know? But G knows, Steve. G's the real G.
Now we see Stone and Nina. They're walking together, and she stops Nina to talk. It's like, look, you help us, we help you. Why were you bailed out by the Ireland Peace Fund?
I don't know. I don't even know who they are. Like, she's not helpful, Steve. I'd be like, okay, well, we're not going to help you. You got 3 friends that are dead right now. You don't want this help?
Apparently, Ethan was really into it. He was really into the cause. They promised to get them a new life in the States. Well, who was they? It was Percy Flanagan?
I don't remember their name, but they had to smuggle guns into the U.S. in order to secure whatever this deal was. I think she names Flanagan, But they basically are like, so are you going to wear a wire? Like, because we need you to wear a wire, which Nina is not a fan of. But Malcolm, aka Tommy's like, what other option do we have here? She's willing to do this. Let's go. Put this wire on this crazy Irish bitch.
Because they do find out too that it might have something to do with this electronics factory that Flanagan's running.
Yeah, and Stone, I guess, is like, he looks at Ann is like, get me in there, because Stone's he's the ace, Steve. He knows how to do an Irish accent, and he's white, so it's the go-to. JC showing up there like, oh, hello. My name's O'Flannery.
I'm cousins with Bill Russell or something. I don't know.
So we cut to that electronics factory, Steve, in the middle of New York City. And Stone's there. He's dressed like a newsie. He's putting on the best Irish accent he can. He talks his way into like this job. And I like how like open this guy is, because they're standing next to this room. He's like, that's the top secret room. You can't go in there. It's like, okay, well, that's where I'm going to need to go. But it's very easy for, maybe if you're just trying to get into an Irish gang and you're white, to be an undercover cop, because Delaney offered a job without asking. Stone came in, said 3 things in an Irish accent. And the guy's like, you got yourself a job, Flanagan, or whatever his name is. It's super easy, Steve. I could show up and be like, hi there, I know how to work on electronics. Let me work here.
Is that even a thing? Electronics factory?
I mean, well, now I think it's all robots, but I think maybe, but I don't think it would be in the middle of NYC, Steve. I don't think you could take the subway to the Irish electronics factory. Yeah, those people that are so great at electronics, the Irish. Look at this new microchip I made. We can grow double the potatoes this way. Let's do it. But it's crazy.
It makes sense, man. But Delaney, now she leaves the pub and all of a sudden she gets kidnapped into a van. And then like that's when it cuts. They come back and Delaney, she's interrogated by Jason Stathlisberger.
At first, Steve. I mean, I think we knew it was him, but he's whooping that ass. He's doing a Sean Connery on a chick, and sometimes a lady needs a slap. And that's a Scotsman, Steve. But I guess Irish and Scottish people do share that.
They kind of sound similar, but just one wears kilts.
But that guy wants to know where Ann is. Where's Ann? Where's Ann? And he doesn't have an Irish accent, Steve. He's got American status. And he's whipping her ass. He pulls the mask off. She asks him why he's not Irish. And he says something about being there for the cause. And she's like, I'm the same way, man. Like, I'm here for the Irish. Like, I don't give a shit about anybody else. So let me in. So she kind of sweet talks this guy, even after taking a couple shots to the face. Dude, she's all in.
Why should I believe you? Because I risked my life to be here.
And I'll kill the bitch. She even says that. She's like, I'm willing to do this. Like, if you need her a race, like, just give me the gun. Give me a shillelagh, and I'll take care of this.
Back at the precinct, they know it's Flanagan, but they have to catch him. So they use Ann to flesh him out. Nina's not liking any of this. It's like, we're supposed to protect her.
And Malcolm's like, look, man, like, this is just some Irish trash. Like, let's put a wire on it and just get her out there. She's like, okay. It's a little too easy to talk her into that. It's very suspicious of Ann, Steve. I don't like it.
Because Malcolm asks, you down to wear a wire? I'm in.
Just give me the thing. Then we cut back to G's school. He's playing a little Game Boy. Never was allowed to take mine to school because my mom was a Nazi about it. One of the Irish chicks sits down and is just saying, like, hello, goodbye. I think she mentioned she's leaving to go back to Ireland soon. And G, being the gentleman he is like, oh, that's cool. And, is talking to her. She's admiring his Game Boy. And this kid just gives this hottie a Game Boy. I mean, I was simping out for chicks, Steve. Giving the chick a Game Boy, G? I mean, that's generous. So, because she mentions like, oh, I don't have enough money to have that in Ireland. So G gives her the Game Boy. She thanks him, gives him, I think, a hug.
A kiss on the cheek.
Kiss on the cheek. A nice kiss goodbye, if you will. Luck of the Irish to you, G. Thank you. But as she's leaving, Steve, big old Rochelle upstairs saw that, takes no hesitation, gives G the business for talking to another chick, and then gives him his jacket back. The jacket. That's it. That means it's over.
Yeah, she might beat your ass too, and then it might be over.
I thought she was going to throw the jacket on his head and pull like a hockey player, just jack him in the face blind.
Yeah.
Choke him, bitch.
Or choke slam him. But
I took a day off work to come here and tell you this.
I had to drop my kids off. See this? Now, and she's going in for the sting. We see that Stone, he actually made it into that top secret lab too. I don't know.
Which is surprising given that when we see him in this scene, he's in the most obvious way possible taking secret photos of all these microchips. He's got a guy right here looking at him and he's like filming every angle of it. So he's there and shows up to Flanagan's office, and Flanagan's kind of surprised, obviously. He's like, that's crazy you showed up here. But Anne, Steve, there's a reason we should have been suspicious, because she's immediately like, I'm here for the cause. You're being investigated. Check this out. She pulls the wire, just shows him the wire. Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, that's crazy. You brought them here to me. And she talks her way out of that. She's here for the cause. And then to like show she's like, I can help you out here. There's a guy, they infiltrated your business here. And Flanagan's surprised. And then she's like, it's the guy taking photos over there in the secret room.
In plain sight. He asked, like, what do they know? Well, they do know that you're responsible for the killings, but they can't prove it. After she ripped out the wire, now they can't hear her in the van.
Everyone in the van's like, what the fuck's going on? As this is happening, Delaney comes in with Mr. Clean. I can't remember what that guy's name is. The guy
he has no name.
Yeah, so dude that's down for the cause show up with Delaney. Flanagan's like, oh, well, you got a new person here too. Let's use her. And I think he blows away Anne immediately. Right? Like he just blows Anne. He's like, oh, that's great. Well, here, I'm taking care of this one. And then they go get Stone. And now Delaney's in a little bit of a situation here, Steve.
Flanagan wants Delaney to go with Jason Statham to the docks. They're going to take Stone and take him to the docks. Also, he shot Anne in front of Delaney so that she knows what time it is. Hey, we don't fuck around. Fuck around and find out.
You see what I do to people who I don't trust. Except I do like having people who just showed up out of nowhere being brought to me at random. It seems kind of weird. But Delaney, she knows everything's going on, but she's still playing the part, Steve. They take Stone over to the docks. That's where we cut to. Unnamed assailant sitting there. They got a couple other dudes with them too. I think, Stone's the good guy, and there's like 3 hired guns and Delaney. So dude's like, well, time to prove that you're down for the cause. Here's the gun. Shoot this fucking cop. So we got Delaney in sort of a Mexican standoff here. She's standing there pointing the gun, hesitating. And then she pulls a freaking MacGyver. Well, not even a MacGyver. She just goes equilibrium style and just blasts all the bad guys, Steve. Saving Stone.
Where's Anne? Oh, she didn't make it.
She did.
And Stone don't give a damn. I don't give a damn either, because Anne's stupid. And Stone was like, man, that little bitch ratted me out. That's how I got here at the dock. Almost got shot.
Yeah, so cops come. Delaney's a little shaken, but she's like, I don't need these freaking psychiatrists or psychologists. I just off these dudes. It's whatever. I'm going to go DJ diddle myself later to the thought of that. But then Stone's like, there's issue here. I think all these like microchips and stuff, I think these are detonators, right? He throws that out. Makes sense. There's a lot of Irish bombings that they're talking about. And they realize Flanagan, they're like, where are these detonators going? Well, they realize that, those kids Flanagan flew in are actually flying out of the country in the next couple of days. And they put together, oh, he's going to freaking put these detonators in with these little kids. It's guy's a monster.
So they follow suit, man, and they see Flanagan's having like a conference at the school in front of everybody, and he's offering all the kids free Game Boys. And thank you for having us at your school. I look forward to doing this again. And he does his whole spiel. Then JC and Stone, they push through to try to make it to him. But as Flanagan is going towards his car, Delaney stops him, flashes her badge, is like, nope, you tried it.
Luck of the Irish, eh? And we find out, Steve, ultimate dick move. Flanagan put detonators on all these busted ass Game Boys he gave to these Irish kids. Was he planning on blowing up the kids?
That seems to be the case. The British kids, yeah.
The non-Catholics.
Yeah.
Protestants, I believe, Steve.
The Protestants, my bad.
Stone's like taking apart these poor kids' Game Boys in front. They're like, hey, man, what are you doing to my Game Boy? And he's like, snap, see, detonator. I'm like, well, dude, I had Pokemon going here. I had all this shit. I had my shit leveled up, bro. What you doing?
Yeah, he tells them like, man, I can get y'all computers, man. Like, how, man? Cops don't get paid that much.
And they're like, well, we can't take them on the plane. He's like, yeah, I'll ship them to you.
No, you can't.
I'll do it after you leave.
Right.
So, kids narrowly avoiding being blown up in some kind of IRA scheme. JC goes talking to G because, he's at school. G's just down in the dumps, man. He fucked up. He doesn't have a Game Boy. He gave away his Game Boy that didn't have a detonator to this Irish chick. I don't know if he's getting that back. And on top of that, Rochelle, she hates me, Dad. She gave me my jacket back.
She powerbombed me?
She punched me in the damn face, man. Look at this. It doesn't really hurt here so much, but like right here.
JC's like, you know what, man? I had some thought about it. I need to cut you some slack. Remember that talk about the birds and the bees? Yeah, it's about time you start getting it cracking.
Yeah. Condoms, Froggy style, all of it. Even you may not be able to have Rochelle over when I'm not home once in a while, too. That's all right. So JC's coming around, Steve. He's understanding. His son's growing up. And I would say, man, this kid almost got killed by Danny Court as a youngster. Let the kid get some puss, because you never know when you're going to stop being around. He almost died.
It's crazy in them New York streets. We cut to Delaney at the pub. Now the bartender's hip. He's like, man, I guess you don't want your old job back, considering you're a cop and everything.
Would have been nice if you told me that. Find out I got beaten the shit out of by all these Irish people that know I hired a freaking cop. But they make friends. Nels hangs out in her little old neighborhood dive bar with a couple other Irish gin blossoms. That's it, Steve. That's it.
That's how this shit ended.
That's crazy. I wanted to see G at least give Rochelle back before this episode ended, but that's my dream, is that next year he's just swimming in some puss. My hero in this later episodes of the show, G, Steve.
I can tell. You're a G aficionado.
He's being caught trying to get laid. He's got a woman way taller, bigger, and older than him, which I respect as whatever grade he's in. And the kid's rocking a Game Boy in school, which is super badass. So shout out to G, Steve.
That's a huge bitch.
I mean, god damn, G likes him big. He likes to climb his chick.
That following year, 1999, Big Daddy premieres. A lazy law school graduate adopts a kid to impress his girlfriend, but everything doesn't go as planned. Directed by Dennis Dugan, starring Adam Sandler, Joey Lauren Adams, Jon Stewart, Rob Schneider, Cole Sprouse, Dylan Sprouse, and Leslie Mann.
There's like the time in Adam Sandler's career when he went from like the crazy, like wacky Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore movies. This to me was like the movie where it was just kind of like just a feel-good movie. There was no real wackiness to it. You got the Sandler stuff you wanted. You got that's a huge bitch. There's a couple of those. You get his two buddies in it who are in this movie gay together, which I loved. You even get the fat guy, adoption guy.
The wrestler. Yeah, the blob.
The amazing blob. Or the revolting blob.
And even his other buddy, the guy that was like cross-eyed in Waterboy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's just the straight guy. It was the buddy who's like, oh, this is fucking gross. Our buddies are just kissing each other.
You cool with this, man?
I love this movie, man. It's got heart. It's got a lot of laughs, and it's just, to me, probably if I had to rank it in terms of like the best movie he's ever made, I would probably say this, because for the longest time, this was actually my favorite movie of his.
Really?
Yeah, I just dug it, man. I just think it's funny, and it does get you, man. Like when he's fully like this kid's dad and they take him away, like Sandler knows how to do that shit. And this one, there's other movies I like Wedding Singer. I like 51st Dates and those like kind of cheesier Sandler movies. But in terms of like the heartfelt Sandler and not like the Billy Madison style movies, I would say this one's the GOAT, man. Even the kids are great too. Like the kid is Frankenstein's hilarious. He can't even read.
Yeah.
This is awesome, dude.
Shout out to the Sprouse twins, man. They kept their nose clean. I haven't heard about them like getting hooked on anything, and they even had success later in life, man, with the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I was too old to get into that kind of stuff, but I do know it had a huge following and it lasted for several years.
Yeah, at least I don't, not that I know of. Like they never pulled like a Corey Feldman or even something worse where they just like ended up OD'd someplace. So shout out to the Sprouses. And yeah, dude, this is Sandman just, being a great dad. It's fucking awesome, man.
Goddamn Jets.
Did you learn that in Hooters?
Oh, speaking of which, another attractive woman that I've always found funny, Leslie Mann.
Oh, she's gorgeous in this too, man.
They were not a comedian, but she's just funny
too. I mean, that's part of the joke where he's like, Did you get an extra tight shirt at Hooters? A lot of Hooters jokes, which I love too.
That same day in 1999, the San Antonio Spurs beat the New York Knicks 78-77 in Game 5 to win their first title in franchise history. And the MVP, the aforementioned big fundamental Tim Duncan.
Damn, it only took 2 years.
That's a quick turnaround.
For a championship. That's crazy. To go from what you said was like one of the worst records to you're the best. And because, obviously it's because of that dude. So shout out to Tim Duncan, man. He's like Tom Brady, dude. I love to hate him because he made my life miserable, but Tim Duncan less so.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Patriots, but there's only been 2 times I went against the Spurs. That was when they played my Cavs in 07 and when they played the Pistons in 05.
That's it.
The other times I was all for the Spurs because like I think that they're a smart franchise. The general manager, the president, like they make smart moves. This obviously being one of them, picking Tim Duncan.
Well, shit, they were just in the finals just now. So, like, they're still relevant. They don't have Tim Duncan, obviously. They got a new big man. It was just a team I love to hate because they had so much success. But Tim Duncan, man, proving you don't got to do all this and one shit. You can hit bank shots all day. You can hit all your jumpers because you got great form. And just teach people that I'm going to just ball on you, and I don't even have to be flashy about it. Hook shot.
All while showing no emotion.
That's cool, too, dude. That is cool. Not a shred, dude. Because I was watching videos of people talking about going up against, like, Larry Bird and how much that guy would, like, crush their spirit with shit talk and mind games. Tim Duncan didn't need any of that.
First of many championships, man. And ironically, those same 2 teams played this year in the finals, but with a different ending.
Yeah. Yep. Shout out to the Knicks, man. Everybody got Knicks fever, so
yeah,
I'm cool.
Dick writers is what I call them.
I'm not a huge basketball fan, so I don't give a shit either way. I enjoyed seeing the Cavs playing when I turned the TV on, but I'm not going to claim to like either of them, Steve. I don't hop on any bandwagons.
Yeah,
I
appreciate that.
Football teams.
You just like the Steelers, man. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Maybe somebody someday will get me back into basketball, but I'm just a Steelers fan, man. That's all I got time for at this point.
I tried. I gave up, man. You're not watching another NBA game in your life.
I mean, unless it's on in a bar or a restaurant that I'm in and I just don't want to talk to whoever I'm with, I'll be like, oh, wow, Spurs are losing. Great. Anyway.
What are the callbacks for this week?
Well, my callback we already talked about, but I'm just going to reiterate it, dude. Mantar. Check it out. Just just type in MANTAUR wrestler and just love it, Steve. Does he look kind of like the revolting Blob? Kind of.
A little bit.
Mantar, aka Mick Halleck, I think Halac. I looked this guy up because I was like, what happened here?
He died. That's what happened.
He died, and but this is worse than Shockmaster. This is it, Steve. This might be the worst gimmick, other than this is it. This is the worst, in my opinion.
The best thing he did was he was Goldust's bodyguard for like a match or two. I don't know.
This was like Great Depression era of wrestling. Like whatever this was, however many years this was, maybe 94 to 96. I mean, Jesus Christ.
1 year. Just 1 year, man. We're going to get that iconic 316 speech. In 1 year, we're going to get that new world order of wrestling, brother. Just 1 year. For life.
What about you, Steve? Can't be Mantor, though.
Yeah, I'm just going to address 95 wrestling in general. It blew. Like, this is why I took a break from stuff like this, man. Vince and Eric, they hadn't figured it out yet, but it would lead us to probably the greatest moments in wrestling history, the peak of wrestling. It's not going to get better than the Attitude Era. Never. It's impossible. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister, I'm feeling it in the backseat. I'm feeling it. It's the high that you get from life. If you feel it, raise your hand in the sky. Check out Food Show Fanatics. Is Crush. Check out. Is she still doing Crushcasm, by the way?
She's gonna bring it back. She's been busy.
All right, we're on hiatus with Crushgasm. Check it out anyways. Check out our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok, and Splat Attack. This is Steve G and Matt G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the flat kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
And by the way, top of the morning to you.